Welcome back to HomeSpot, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great day so far. We're doing good here on my end. Now, so today, our next project is going to be a nice little fun project. It's something that's on the honeydew list. My wife's asked me to make 2 birdhouses, one for each one of my twin girls. They're pretty much going to just paint it and decorate it, do whatever they want. Of course, we'll hang it up for the birds. So that'll be nice and fun here. Now, this project here is going to be a smaller project. So what I want to do, I want to use all those scraps, or as much of the scraps as I possibly can here. I do have, some bigger plywood and just wood over here, just general here. But we're gonna try to use all the cutoffs that, generally you wouldn't use and you kind of just throw away. So we're gonna put that to some good use. That's all I really have for you right now, so let's get to work.
Okay, so up first we have the actual design of the birdhouse, what it's actually going to look like. Now, the majority, if not all of my projects start out on the computer. I do some AutoCAD drawings. This one, again, it's just a simple birdhouse. I decided just to freehand it, kind of Googled a few of the options or a few of the birdhouses out there already, and went from there. Once we have everything laid out, we do move on over to the table saw to actually cutting everything out. And right now we're just trying to get it as close as we can to that line, so the closer the better. Okay, once the front and back have been cut out, it's time to move on to the side walls. And these are just going to be 4 inches thick, not trying to make it too complicated. So just set the table saw to 4 inches and go to town. This white piece here is going to be the actual bottom of the birdhouse. Again, we're just using as many scraps as we possibly can. Okay, and here's where I overcomplicated in my opinion. I'm finding the angle of every single side here, which is just simply not necessary. Now, you do need to find some angles, but not out of every single side. So you do need to find the top angle, that way you know what angle to build your roof at. And you do need to find your angle on the bottom of the walls, that way you know where to slant your walls. Okay, so once you do find your angles, you want to cut out all of your angles at the same time. That way you're not moving your fence out of the way, you're not moving your blade completely different, and you make sure you have the exact angle on every single cut. Okay, and once your bottom and your sides are cut out, just a quick test fit to make sure they all fit. And you also want to mark how tall your walls are going to be. And once you mark it, you just move on over to the table saw and cut them out. Okay, up next we move on over to the roof. First off, you want to cut out your angles for the roof, and once you're done with the angles, you do want to put it on your crosscut sled to cut it out to exact length. Once that's done, you do move on over just to a quick test fit, make sure everything lines up properly. In this case, it did. Okay, once we're satisfied with the test fit, we do move on over to sanding. Now, this is actually very important. It's better to sand it now when everything is still apart, rather than gluing everything up and then having a hard time getting into the little corners. Okay, and before you assemble the birdhouse as well, you want to drill out your 2 holes. So one of them is going to be just your entry hole for the birds to go in and out of, and the second one is going to be for the dell, that way the birds can stand on it. And as far as the dell, I just used a simple 3/8 inch dell, sanded it down on all sides just to make it nice and smooth. And since the hole is a 3/8 inch hole, it fits really nice and tightly there. Okay, and up next we move to gluing everything up together. Now, first we start with the game plan to see how everything's gonna go. Then we move into actual gluing here. Now, I put just a regular piece of paper, that way I can protect my table saw, that way no glue gets on it. And pretty simple, just apply the glue on both sides, clamp it down. Same thing with the top pieces, just put a little bit of wood glue on it, clamp it down as well. Now, the roof is not going to be glued on. I do want the roof to be removable, just in case I do want to go in the birdhouse, clean it out every once in a while. So that one will just sit on top. Gravity will hold that together. What you do need to do with the roof though, you do need to glue both of the sides together. In this case, I glue them and I brad nail them down as well. That way they're nice and tight and I don't have to worry about the glue drying. Now, one thing I did notice is the hole for the birds to get in and out of was a little too small, and I did use the biggest drill bit I had. So I took it over to my spindle sander and just widened it out a little bit here. Once the hole has been widened, you do want to smooth out the edges of that hole. Okay, up next we want to make a little seed holder in the front. Now it's pretty simple, just 2 side pieces and a front piece, so just measure everything out to what you already have. Once we have everything dry as far as the birdhouse goes, we want to glue the actual birdhouse onto the bottom panel. So just throw some glue on there, put it down on the bottom panel, and you're good to go. Okay, as far as the glue, I did let it cure overnight. I came back the next day and actually attached the fence sides. I don't have any video of it, not sure why, but nonetheless I did attach it. It's pretty simple, just glue them on just like I did the birdhouse. I did want it to look a little bit prettier, so I did put some edge banding on the top of it and just cut it out as best as I could. Okay, once edge banding is done, it's time to sand everything on down. Now I did use a little bit of joint compound on the birdhouse just to eliminate any of the gaps here. It wasn't too bad, but I did want a nice smooth surface. But nonetheless, sand it down as smooth as you possibly can. Right now I'm using 120. I did take it all the way up to 180, but nothing too super fine. Okay, now we start the painting progress. Now the bottom layer is going to be a coat of white. It's actually a total of 3 coats of white. And then once that's done, I did pretty much give this on over to the wife and the kids, that way they could paint it. Okay, and as far as the paint, we all kind of just went to town on it. We did end up choosing the American flag theme because America, why not? After that, my wife did cut out some vinyl and just placed it on there, and overall it looks very, very good. And pretty much the final thing is to put a rope, that way it can be hung from a tree or from anywhere for that matter. Well, I guess I should say the last step is just a few coats of clear, and she is done.
Alright, home spotter, so that is Project Birdhouse in the books. Overall, I really like it. It's nice. I think it's very classy. The birds think it's very classy. I talked to them the other day, but nonetheless, it's a nice little overall project to get your kids, especially if you have little ones, especially during these times right now with everything going on in the world. So it gives them a little something to do, in my opinion. Gets them out and about, gets them excited every time they go outside. Now they're like, Dad, look at that, we made that. But nonetheless, I like it. I really like it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Please browse the channel, like, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.